So I have a transmission for you guys today. It's coming through me really strongly and I need to get this out. So yeah, so I can't ignore how important this is. Okay, this is about the way that the sex industry is about to shift, the rise of sacred sexuality, and I feel this very strongly that things are about to fall away for how things have been, and this is to make room for what's about to come. So this rise of sacred sexuality, which I've been seeing coming for a while, and I'm seeing people come together to make this happen. Must have been 4 years ago when I really started shifting into providing more of a sacred sexuality service to my clients, having been a sex worker, working as a sex worker for 6-7 years. This is about 3 years into it, and I went through a period where I had to start looking at the way I was showing up. I had to look at the way that I've been disconnected from my body and the way that I wasn't honoring myself at times, and I had to go on my own sexual healing journey. And through that, I discovered the sacred sexuality, and this is when I started providing that for my clients. And the healings, the shifts, the awakenings, the openings, the connections that my clients were having have been profound and connected, and rather than disconnected or disempowered at times, just a whole different way of working and being. And it's a calling. It wasn't a job. It was a calling for me. Whereas previous to that, working as an escort was more like a job rather than a calling. And so this felt like a real calling, like the way that it filled and opened me up and opened my heart. And then the ripple effect that I've seen happen for people. So I really feel to speak to this shift, okay? To speak to this shift. Because at that time, I thought I was alone. I was like the only one that was doing this. I mean, I knew a few people, but I found it really hard because I didn't find many people that were doing what I was doing. And at the same time, I was like, this is a kind of a niche, right? And then, but I knew inside that this is what I was meant to teach. I knew inside that, and I had this vision, this thought of, what if the whole sex industry awakened and women were providing sexual healing to men? What if they were providing this real deep sexual healing? And I was like, this could be revolutionary. Like, this could completely change the world. Like, this could be massive. And I was like, oh my God, I'm onto something here. And I got really excited. And then I was like, wow, that feels mad. That feels so huge. Like, how am I going to do that by myself, right? So as time went on, I started to meet other escorts that started to feel this too. And they'd be like, oh, I'm feeling this. I'm wanting to explore this more. And so I started teaching, I started coaching them, I started training, I started running workshops. And what's been wanting to come through is a practitioner training, which is not quite landed yet, but it's there. The message that I'm getting about that, it's too advanced yet for where a lot of people are at, which I'll get to later. But there needs to be some deeper healing around men before that happens. That like some deeper healing of wounds around men, around resentments towards men, around deep emotions and traumas that have been held from lifetimes that need to be worked through to really hold space for men. So this is a lot of the work I also do with women, is healing these wounds and going into this, and a lot of the women that I know that work in this area are working through that and are also teaching it as well. So there's this, I feel like what's happening is like a lot of us are coming together now, but what I've seen now is that there's a lot of laws coming in now with the sex industry, and these laws mean that the old way is not going to work anymore. Basically, things have to shift now because it's just not going to work. So, and there's sex workers that are freaking out, that are getting scared about they're not going to be able to work and things like that. And and I feel like what this is like things are changing. It's not that things are falling away, they're always falling away, and this new way of being is being birthed into the world, right? So there's two pieces that I really need to come through with this, because this shift is going to be massive. And last year I felt this is going to have, next year, sacred sexuality is really going to rise up, and people are going to be wanting it and yearning for it and feeling so called to it, and they want more, and they want to know where to learn and explore and where to come together with other people, which is really, really key. And this is gonna be massive, like huge. So like, mark my words, mark my words. Like, I'm calling it right now. Like, something massive is about to shift. In the 10 years time, I think that this will be like the work that I'm doing. It will be around the world. And I'm not just the only one doing it right now. There's plenty of people doing it. And this is the first thing I need to call, is the people that are already doing it, that are working in like tantra or sacred sexuality. You need to start speaking up. You need to start talking boldly. You need to show up and not hide, okay? So stop making yourself small. And if you're hiding, if you're small, if like maybe not that many people know about the work you do, but you know it's phenomenal, you know that it's transformational, you know that it's deeply healing, and the only people that know about it are your clients, then you need to start speaking about it. You need to start talking about it, and you need to get out of the bubble of all the conscious people, like this conscious people bubble that you're in, and you need to start talking to the mainstream, because people are getting ready for this. They're opening to this. They're searching for this, and because I see it, right? I'm showing up and I'm talking about cock worship and yoni worship, and people are starting to know this stuff, and it's starting to filter out, right? So you need to start talking. You need to start looking at where you're holding yourself back, where are you keeping yourself small, and why are you not sharing? Like, why are you not showing up on social media and sharing the amazing work that you're doing, or what you're passionate about, or jumping on live streams, or using these mainstream ways of reaching people to share your message, right? To share your passion. Okay, so I'm calling on you to step up and start doing that, right? All right. And the other piece to that is, if you're one of these people, message me, because I've created a group on Facebook called Sacred Sexuality Practitioners. So if you're in this field, I want you to, go search for that group. I will only be adding people that are working in this field. So we can come together, right? So we can come together and we can help each other and support each other. And like, when I first started, I thought I was alone and I didn't really talk to anyone. And then the more that I started to go to different workshops and attend different things, the more I started to meet other people that were in this work. And I was like, wow, there are other people in this. And, I remember one of my first workshops, I felt so uneasy about telling people that I was an escort, even though it was a sexuality workshop. And it would take me a while to open up. And now I talk about it obviously so openly, right? But just, it's like, where are you? What are you hiding away? What are you not speaking? Because, we are becoming more and more open about talking about sex and about the sex industry and about stripping or about escorting or about porn. We're becoming more open to talk about this when people are wanting to know how to be more conscious in this, how to be more aware, how to be, have deeper connections, be in their, be in their hearts, and feel more. So this is all, wanting to come through and wanting to be birthed now. So many of the men that come to me will say to me, originally I found you because I was looking for an escort, I was looking for erotic massage, and then I found your website and I realized that this is what I actually need. And they're like, this is what I need, and this is what I want, right? And this is not to make like escorting or erotic massage wrong, because I also believe they have some beautiful, beautiful benefits. Like, when I was an escort, like, I was, I did effectively act as a counselor at times. I did heal in different ways without me being consciously aware that's what I was doing. But in the most part, I was actually quite disconnected from my body. And I was having sex when I probably wasn't 100% in all my centers of wanting to go into that. And sometimes I was, but sometimes I was quite disconnected. Whereas now I am connected, and although I don't offer full sex, it's with the tantric work, like, it is still intimate, and I'm not going to do anything that is a no for me, right? So I'm really just wanting to to address the people that are working in this space, firstly, is that you need to start speaking about this because people need to know, and it is wanting to come through strongly. So yeah, share yourself, speak up, share the power and the potency of your work. Share it, like start stepping into that. And if you want support with that, let me know. Like, I'm good at keeping people accountable with that stuff, of getting your message out there, right? I have a lot of clients who are working in this field and who need help with their business and their marketing and things like that. So it's time to stop playing small and hiding in a bubble. If you feel like you're in a bubble and you're so not connected to the outside world, these are the people that are going to be wanting this. That when these shifts really take place, they're going to be searching, they'll be looking for you. So, there's someone out there that's experienced sexual abuse and or maybe they're in an abusive relationship right now. Maybe they're going through something, and in 18 months' time, they're going to be looking for help, and they're going to be looking for you. And if you're not out there and you're not available, how are they going to find you? Right? So think about that. Tune into your why. Tune into that. Like, if you're not out there, putting yourself out there, how are people going to find you? How are they going to get help? And, people are searching. It's rising in them, right? So really important. So the other piece of this is if you're working in the sex industry, I work with a lot of women that work in the sex industry who feel this calling, who feel like this thing of, this is the old way is not working for me anymore. Maybe I'm feeling disconnected. Maybe I'm sick of doing the same thing. Maybe I'm feeling like I want to get out. Or maybe I'm feeling like I want to do something that feels more like purpose-driven, or like I'm providing like some sort of healing. There's some kind of calling in there for something different. And this is a calling. This isn't just a job. It's a calling. So if you are, let me know, like reach out to me. This is one of my passions. Like, as I said, I had this vision of like traveling the world and running these workshops and running practitioner trainings and working with women in the sex industry who want to start offering more of this kind of healing and in a way that is deeply honoring to themselves and their clients. And it feels super aligned with their soul, right? It's a soul work, right? So, yeah. So I feel like the universal spirit has like really has really set this up for me in my journey to now step up and share from my experience. I feel like there's a reason that I've been in both worlds, and I'm still across both worlds. I'm still involved in both worlds. Is to bring them together, right? To bring this and to bring more consciousness to the sex industry, right? And because this is the thing, right? This is the thing. One of the reasons why we have so much like sexual assault and sexual abuse in the world is because people are disconnected from their hearts. They don't know how to feel, right? They don't know how to feel, right? So if you bring in sacred sexuality, which is connecting people to their hearts, there's going to be less sexual abuse. There's going to be less crossing of boundaries. There's going to be deep honoring, right? But at the moment, like there's this whole penetrative energy where people just want to fuck, and at the times they don't really care about, and there's this massive conditioning around that. And so to get out of that, it's about opening the heart and coming back into self and bringing people back into their bodies, bringing people back into like their beautiful hearts and their beautiful feeling, right? And not having this disconnected, penetrative energy in the world that is often unconscious and unhealthy. And it's like bringing this back into self and bringing this back into love, right? So this is the beauty and the power of working with sacred sexuality, is to open to that and to bring more into that. And it's so much of what I do with men in particular is about connecting their cocks and their hearts, right? Because so many men are just so disconnected, and they're walking around in the world constantly wanting to penetrate and fuck all the time, and they don't know how to control this energy. They don't know how to manage it. And so it's, and because they're not taught, they don't go through any kind of initiation like they used to in tribes. And so as sacred sexuality practitioners, or sacred sexual priestess is a term I use, we're here to initiate. We're here to take men through that initiation so that they can evolve and learn how to manage this energy and stop projecting it out and stop and feeling shame about that. Then they go and they feel shame and make themselves wrong, and they become more disconnected from their hearts, right? And that can come out in unhealthy ways or lead to depression because they bottle it up and suppress it, right? So this work is so liberating that it's time that we really start stepping into it. And if you're feeling that calling, or if you're already working in it, you need to step into it. Now is the time, okay? Stop fucking around, stop fluffing around, stop staying in your bubble, stop keeping yourself small. The shift is happening, and it's happening now. And if you want to be part of it, and you know that this is part of what you need to do in the world and what you're here to do, and you're here to shift this consciousness and expand consciousness on a massive level, and have this massive sexual awakening, this massive sexual revolution that is about to happen, then, you know, do it to start. And if you want to come together in community, like I have Facebook groups, just message me if this is resonating for you, message me so I can bring you together with this community that is these communities that are being created. There's lots of different communities, and there's lots of beautiful teachings and workshops out there. And I'm someone that wants to share the other people's work as well, other workshops and other retreats and other trainings, because the more like we can all come together, the more it's just going to filter out, right? And it's this coming from an abundant place. It's not about I believe that we need to have lots of practitioners out there, right? It's not about competition, it's about collaboration, right? So as you can see, I'm very passionate about it. So that's the message. And I do have a workshop coming up, and you can message me about that. And this is all, this is something that will really, it's about the art of loving men, and this is all the stuff that I'm going to be teaching in there. Is this? I'm going to be teaching this and practices around it. And so, depending when you're watching this, if there's something that you're like, oh, I need to be there, like I'm feeling drawn to that, then you're also going to be in this community as well. People that want to embody this and embrace this and want to share this and want to awaken men and want to help men and want to open hearts, right? And at the same time, opening and healing your own relationship to me and healing your own wounds and looking at your own inner masculine energy, your own the way you want to penetrate, that may be unhealthy, and maybe it's with your emotions, maybe it may not be with sexual energy, for example, it could be both, right? But just, the unhealthy ways that we also show up as well. So, I guess also the piece I want to speak to is about healing our own, as women, healing our own relationship with men too. And so that we can hold this beautiful space and looking at the wounds and the traumas and the emotions and the stories that we store inside our bodies and tell ourselves in our minds, that's stopping us from having these beautiful connections and seeing men for who they are and their sensitivity and their the things that happen in my sessions with men are incredible. I can have these guys that come off all tough and typical kind of blokey, tradey kind of guy that, sometimes I've thought, oh my God, is this guy going to be into Tantra? Maybe it's going to be a bit woo-woo for him. And then I just see, when I hold space in this beautiful feminine energy, I see these masks drop and I see their hearts and I see their souls, and they speak from feeling, and they get to express things that they've never had permission or given themselves permission to express before, because they've had to have this tough exterior to feel good enough, to feel like a man. So it's been so beautiful to hold space, and we all as women have the capability to do this when we get out of our stories, when we heal some of our wounds, and when we're willing to see things differently. It's so beautiful. So message me if you're interested in being part of that, or comment below Loving Men, and I will send you some details. This is the last workshop I'm going to be doing for a little while because I'm focusing on my book, which is all about healing those wounds. And the other piece that is coming through is to do, and this has been in my space for a really long time, is to create a practitioner training specifically for women wanting to work with men in this way. I've done lots of different workshops where women are now doing this work in the world. But this is going to be longer. But the message that I'm getting is that it's going to be quite advanced. So the women that are coming through to learn this are not quite there yet. They have to do some more healing. because I felt this push. I was like, oh, I need to get this work. And then it's like, no, there's still some shifts that need to happen. So there needs to be some healing around the relationship with men and the wounds there for them to step into that. But this is also what I do, is like one of the things that I do is teach this healing around that. So, you know, if you feel, again, if you know that you have wounds around men and you know you need to do some healing, whether you want to be a practitioner or not, it doesn't matter. But if you know that stuff there, that's also that stuff that I work deeply with people. So, or I can connect you. There's like one of the things I'm working through at the moment is working in like all the traumas and emotions that are held in our wombs from lifetimes, you know, from ancestral lineage, is right. It's being held in our wombs. And so, you know, there's beautiful work out there. And I will be sharing this, right? I want to be sharing more of this work because it's not just about learning how to be, you know, practitioners or, you know, even just share this work with our partners. It's about doing the work on ourselves, you know, healing ourselves. And the more we heal ourselves, the better space we can hold. Okay. I think that I just had to get it out because it's been in my space. And so, yeah, it needs to be out there. And I just need to share that. If you want to come and be part of this community, message me, whether you're a practitioner already or whether you want to learn more about this and you want to learn more about what I do or what other people are doing, what other workshops there are, what other retreats are there. Like, I'm happy to, you know, to share all of those with you. I have my group, Soulful Sexual Woman, on Facebook as well. We'll be sharing some of this stuff. Yeah, so, yeah, there's just something brewing and about to be birthed. So be ready, and start stepping up and into that. It's time. And men, just you wait to be opened, and I'm so excited to see so many men's hearts be awakened and learn how to love, you know, and learn how to really discover what it's like to really deeply feel and be in your heart. And I want that for every person on the planet. Yeah. All right. Much love to you all. Yeah. Sending so much love.